Hello there everyone and welcome back to another video here on the Theme Park Jack YouTube channel. Before we get into today's video, I do just want to remind you that there is loads of new merchandise on my Theme Park Jack shop and the link to that is in the description. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about Drayton Manor theme park in Tamworth, Staffordshire. Now the last two future kind of prediction videos I've done have been really popular with you guys. So I am going to be carrying this on, and I think Drayton Manor is the perfect park to talk about. Now, Drayton Manor is a park that actually quite concerns me, unlike Water Valley, which concerns a lot of other people. However, I think Water Valley's okay for now, but Drayton Manor is a theme park that I really worry about. Reason being, it's in quite a lot of debt, and it has been for a while now. They've not been making money for the past few years, and obviously with the accident that happened there a few years ago as well, that has given them a lot of negative publicity too. And other things too, like how the running costs of the zoo during the closure due to the COVID-19 lockdown are incredibly high. If you do follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, you will have seen where I was talking about my new blog post, which you can go and check out if you want. The link to my website is in the description. And I was talking about on there how the Welsh Mountain Zoo have come out and said that their running costs are £118,000 a month. Now Drayton Manor has a similar size zoo, probably even possibly bigger than that there, meaning their running costs will be just as high, if not higher, during the coronavirus lockdown, and they have no way of paying for it. So I'm sure from all that you can understand my concerns with Drayton Manor, and for the fact as well that they didn't get any business at February half term, because the park was flooded from their lake. So yeah, they've been in trouble for a while now, Drayton Manor have, and today I'm just going to talk about some sensible things that they can do to hopefully restore the park and keep it open again. Just remember, it's a family owned park, it's not part of some big leisure group or anything. So today I'm not going to be talking about massive new thrill rides that cost 20 odd million pounds that other parks might be adding, because that just isn't reasonable for Drayton Manor to be getting those. I am going to talk about some cool new rides that they could add though, that they could afford to add and that will bring in loads of new visitors for them. First thing I want to talk about is Splash Canyon. Now I'm of the view that that thing needs to go forever. Obviously it being there is just a reminder to everyone of what happened, and the ride can quite easily be abandoned because there's no other rides down that area of the park. And yeah, it's just underneath Shockwave, it's not in its own big space where people will notice it. So they can just leave it there, to be honest, or they can fill in the trough if they want to. But either way, I wouldn't reopen the River Rapids. And not only that as well, the running costs of River Rapids are some of the highest of any rides at theme parks. And with it having been closed for a few years now, it will need a lot of refurbishments doing to it, a lot of new parts buy-in and the boats remodelling in order to be able to reopen it, and they will cost the park a fortune. And really it isn't worth it when they've got Stormforce 10, which is a crazy log flume ride which is just next to it, which is even better. So to be honest, I just call it a day with the Rapids and not reopen them. Now the red coaster that you can see here was called G-Force, and that was actually removed over the last winter season. And yeah, the running costs were too high for it, so the park decided to remove the ride. Yeah, it'd been having quite a few problems for many years now, and it wasn't the best of rides either, so I completely understand why they got rid of it. Plus it doesn't really match up with the family route that they're trying to go down, as it was a very extreme thrill ride. Like the lift hill went upside down, and it went upside down a couple of other times too, and yeah, it did pull some quite crazy forces, so you can understand them wanting to get rid of that because it just really doesn't fit. Now the ride has been taken apart so they can sell it if they want to, and it is listed online for them to try and sell it to another theme park. I think it would be perfect if a park did buy it off them, then the ride could live to see another day, and of course it would bring in some money for the park as well. And in terms of what would replace it, apparently Drayton Manor have rumoured that there's going to be some kind of vintage cars attraction going in there. I think if that does go in to replace it, that's absolutely fine, and we've got to support them on that. Alright, yeah, it might not be the best addition in the world, but at the end of the day, it is something new, and yeah, I will have a go on it. I think that we have to appreciate that they're in a really tough position and that they are trying their best to add new rides in. So yeah, but if I could choose what they added there, I would choose a Zamperla motor coaster. Now, the reason being that these rides are cheap, they're compact, and they're a great family thrill ride, meaning it's perfect for their theme park. You know, it's not that it's just for little kids to go on, but at the same time, it's not like a crazy out of this world that only hardened thrill seekers can go on. It's like somewhere in the middle, meaning that everyone can enjoy it in it. Everyone can enjoy it, everyone can go on it and have a good time. And yeah, I think they should buy a clone of the one that's at Darien Lake in New York, motor coaster there. Or they could buy a clone of the one that's called Steeplechase, which is at Luna Park, Coney Island, also in New York. Either one of them, just buy a clone of that ride, I think that would be perfect. And just remember that I could see Darien Lake getting rid of that ride in the future. Now the park's run by Six Flags, as they don't really have any other rides like that at their parks. And it is quite possible that with it being a Zamperla ride, that Six Flags will want to get rid of it and replace it with one of those 4D free spin coasters that they've been rolling out at all their parks. So if they do want to get rid of that, that wouldn't greatly surprise me, and I think that Drayton Manor should absolutely buy it off them. Now, there is absolutely no doubt about it that Thomas Land at Drayton Manor is the only thing that's kept the park going over the last few years, and I think that they need to continue to add to it to bring visitors back, because that's clearly the thing that's going to attract the most visitors of all. Now, I think adding other rides like small family flat rides from companies like Zamperla, the SBF Visa Group, ride companies that are nice and cheap. I think buying them off those are brilliant. And just remember that not only are they cheap, they make some great rides as well. The SBF Visa Group's small like family spinning coasters are brilliant rides, and I think that bringing one of them into Thomas Land would be a great new addition. And yeah, it'd be popular and it would be a good family ride for them to add as well. If they did want to do anything extra, I think they could take over some of the space from the old Pirates Adventure building. Just remembering that that is now closed permanently, I think they need to sell as much of the stuff they can from Pirates Adventure off, like old ride parts and stuff. And they could put in a Thomas Land dark ride in there, maybe an interactive one or just a normal one where you go around like on a little train inside and go around all the scenery. They have opened one up at another one of the Thomas Land parks abroad. I'm not sure where it is, I just saw it in someone's vlog from a theme park once. So yeah, there is already a Thomas Land dark ride out there somewhere. So if Drayton Manor brought that to their park, they've got a building to put it in. And yeah, it would definitely be a massive hit for them. And yeah, it would definitely bring enough visitors in so they could pay back the cost for that ride, certainly. And yeah, even more so, hopefully. I think that would be a perfect addition for the park. Obviously, me being a thrill seeker, would it be my ideal addition to a theme park? No, it wouldn't. But talking about what will keep Drayton Manor going as a theme park and make sure that it doesn't close down, I think that that's a perfect new addition for them to add. So here I'm showing you a photograph from Google Maps just over the top end of the park, where the Buffalo Mountain Coaster is and also where the Vertigo High Ropes course is. Now, the problem is with both of those rides, so the Buffalo Coaster, it's been around there for over 30 years now. I think it might have been even longer than that. And yeah, they only actually run half the train on the ride now. And yeah, there's no doubt about it, it is in a sorry state. So I think that getting rid of that will be the right thing to do. Over the next few years, they don't need to do it now immediately, but as soon as they can't afford to keep it going anymore, well, not so much that, but as soon as they have to go and start replacing big parts of the ride system in order to be able to keep it going, which they are definitely going to have to do soon. Just remember, like, this ride can't run in the rain anymore and stuff like that. As soon as you have to do that, I say get rid of it rather than having to spend extra on it. And the thing is with the Vertigo High Ropes course as well, I mean, I love those high ropes courses, but the thing is that that one hasn't actually been that popular. Now, you do have to actually pay extra to go on it, and I can understand why, because it does cost them a lot to run, because they've got to have like 4 or 5 staff members on there. But it does cost extra to go on it. They're great, don't get me wrong, they've got zip wires on it and all different obstacles and stuff, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it hasn't been doing that well for the park, that much so they had to even reduce the price of it the year after it opened. So I think if it's continuing to not do well, I think that that is another attraction that could go. I think that they would definitely be able to sell that, because at a lot of other parks, especially like seaside parks and piers and stuff, where it's like the climbing thing like right next to the sea and stuff like that, they seem to be the new in thing at the minute, and they would definitely be able to flog that one. I mean, it's got zip wires on it, the lot, it's in really good condition. It only opened a few years ago, so if they want rid of it, they could definitely sell it. Now, what will they replace it with? I think that they should add some new accommodation there, just like the Enchanted Forest, where they're like all different holiday cottages and tree houses over at Alton Towers. I think they should do something like that there. I mean, you think about it, that is a perfect location for them to bring in new accommodation. I mean, it runs straight next to the road, so parking can be quite easy, that people can just drive onto there. It's right overlooking the lake as well, so it's really scenic views and stuff like that. And as well, they can't actually really build new rides in that area of the park anymore, because it backs onto local housing, and local residents have been complaining about the noise. That much so that Drayton Manor have put signs up in the queue lines of the rides nearby telling you to not scream when you go on the ride. When that happens, when a theme park is telling you not to scream on a ride, you can tell that they've been having quite a lot of complaints to do with the noise that people have been making, meaning that adding holiday cottages there would be perfect, because they're not going to get noise complaints over them. And yeah, that would completely eliminate that, so the local residents wouldn't be annoyed and wouldn't be complaining anymore. And I think that that's the right thing to do. And just remember that theme parks doing short breaks is making them a fortune now, because people kind of stay there and have a long weekend and enjoy the different things that they've got at the park. And yeah, I think that that would be a really good, sensible addition for them to do. And getting rid of two attractions, one that's really old and one that isn't really working out for them. They could also build a water park on that site. I mean, Drayton Manor a few years ago had plans to build a water park, I think. Those obviously haven't happened yet. If they wanted to do something like that, I think that would be a massive hit as well. Water parks are always really popular, especially if they add some of those new slides in, like those drop slides where you kind of stand on the platform and it drops from beneath you. Stuff like that are really popular, so if they did want to build a water park there and add slides in like that, again, I think that would be really popular, and I think it would encourage even more people to stay over. Now they've got more things to do than just the theme park and the zoo. Okay then, so I hope you can understand that in today's video I am just trying to be realistic. Of course, being a thrill seeker and a theme park enthusiast, I would love it if I could predict all these big new exciting rides. But the fact of the matter is that Drayton Manor just can't afford them. And now I was trying to talk about realistic things that the park could do in order to keep it going, and I think that they are all sensible things they could do, and I'll be really happy if they did. I mean, just remember they, predicted a new dark ride, they're adding in a new family thrill roller coaster, and some new accommodation as well, and possibly even a water park. I think they're all great additions to the park, and they would really help the place out if that did happen, and they would make Drayton Manor into a really good park then. Drayton Manor has always been a decent theme park, but I think over the past few years with some of the things that's happened, it just needs a few more attractions going in to help bring it back up to that space. And yeah, I think with adding those things, a lot more people will visit it. And yeah, hopefully it'll be able to keep the place afloat. So I hope you can appreciate that obviously in normal videos I will predict them adding more new stuff and lots of big new rides and stuff like that, and talk about all the big new rides that I'd like to see there if I own the park and stuff. But if I ran the park, that's exactly what I'd do, because that I think is the only thing they can really do in order to try and keep the theme park going. I really hope that Drayton Manor doesn't close down. It's a really valuable theme park in the UK in terms of how much people like going there, and with it being one of the last family-owned theme parks in the UK as well, it would be a real shame if it did go, and I hope it survives. So thank you very much for watching today's video then. Please do check out my new blog post on themeparkjack.com. Subscribe to the channel for more new videos coming soon. I appreciate all the support that there's been lately. I'm going to be uploading more videos more frequently from now on. I've just been trying to space them out a bit during lockdown because I didn't want to kind of crowd them up all together then run out of content. But now we're getting towards the end of lockdown, I'm going to be uploading more frequently for sure. So thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be coming very soon. Bye now. Thanks guys.